Talking about pets as therapy as well on the show today. I wonder, when you think of dogs working for the police, you probably think of the ones that are sniffing out the contraband or maybe protecting officers. But therapy dogs are used by Devon and Cornwall Police to support officers and victims of crime. Nathan Walker is a sector inspector for the force and the owner of support dog Bertie.
Police officers are human beings, and any human being that's exposed to those high pressure environments will have some form of emotional reaction to those. Bringing the dogs into the picture is really about breaking the ice, allowing for some common ground around our interests in dogs, or just a distraction away from everyday life.
Well, Matthew Robinson works for Pets as Therapy, and that's a national charity that aims to support people with pets of all shapes and sizes. And he's with me this morning. Morning, Matthew.
Good morning, James. Thanks for having me on the show.
Yeah, good to talk to you. Is it just dogs, or are there all sorts of different animals that are giving therapy to people?
So, Pets as Therapy, we have volunteers who visit with their own dogs or cats. There are other organisations out in the world that have other animals, but dogs and cats are clearly the most popular in British society.
OK, so what sort of difference can they make to people when they go into a workplace or wherever?
I mean, the impact that we find from the visits of our volunteers is absolutely huge. Because of the variety of settings that our volunteers visit, which could be care homes, hospitals, schools, prisons, hospices, daycare centres, the list goes on. Essentially, if we were to sum it up, it's bringing comfort, joy, often distraction to people that either can't access a therapy animal at any point in their life, or that they can't access a therapy animal at that point in their life because of something that they're going through. And that distraction and that comfort and that joy basically enables them to relax, relieve stress, and better engage in what they're actually going through at the time.
It's interesting as well hearing it going into places such as police forces, and I mentioned earlier on about the court service also. Pets as Therapy or pet dogs go into there too, certainly locally, and I know across the country too. So you feel as if the remit is widening with this too?
Yeah, I mean, we've had some experience with court service as well. It's often for a referral scheme. The bulk of our work is obviously in the other settings that I listed earlier. But essentially, if you can imagine anyone that is having a stressful event in their life, time spent with a companion animal, be that a dog or a cat, can really help to relieve that stress for them, relax them, and just take them away from that situation, even for a snapshot in time, just to help bring them that kind of relaxation.
What sort of stories have you heard about the difference it's made to individuals?
Oh, where do you want me to start? I mean, we are incredibly lucky, James. So me in particular, I get to go out and see visits. I get to go and film. I get to go and interview. And of course, we also have a really active social media profile where people share stories and amazing outcomes. And I'll just give you one example. So there was a child at a school that had been classified by the teaching staff as essentially mute. So they weren't engaging with speech in any shape or form. And there were various interventions the school had tried to engage with that pupil, all of which had failed. They then had a Pets as Therapy visiting volunteer come in, and on day one, that child sat down with the dog and read out loud their entire book. You can probably hear the emotion in my voice. There wasn't a single dry eye in the school. And that's just one example of this amazing impact that a simple intervention can have.
That is phenomenal, isn't it? The difference it can make. Is there a great demand on your charity as well when you hear transformative stories like that?
I'm not going to lie. Yeah, there is. There's a huge demand. It's a kind of bittersweet position to be in, James. So we have demand that far outstrips our ability to meet it. And we have a massive push on trying to let people know, if you think you or someone you know has a dog or a cat that's got the right temperament to be able to do these visits, please get in contact. So if you visit the Pets as Therapy website, which is petsastherapy.org. You can read up a load more information. That's ultimately where you'd go to register. But we do also have a lovely team on reception. So if you've got specific questions, give us a call. The number's on the website.
Let's hope many more listening to this heed that plea, because it does make a huge difference. Matthew, thank you so much for your time this morning and that incredible story as well, that example of the difference a therapy pet can make to those who really, really need that extra support to come out of their shell. Matthew Robinson there from the Pets as Therapy charity. And as he said, if you can get in touch, if you think you've got a dog or a cat that can do the trick, or maybe something else with a fabulous temperament, they'd love to hear from you.